Hey beauty babes, welcome to my channel. I'm Maria, aka Agape Love Girl. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm back with another palette bingo. You guys seem to really like my last one that I did, which was well, technically I guess the second one I've ever did, but it was the first multi-palette bingo I did, and you guys seem to really like that, and I had so much fun doing it. If you have not seen that video, I will link it in the card, so be sure to check it out. But today I wanted to do a palette bingo using the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. I had been requested by a few people to see, they wanted to see more, looks and content created with this palette, and it is a really beautiful palette, and I've used it, I don't know if you can tell, but I have used it quite a bit, but it hasn't gotten very much love on my channel, and I haven't picked it up in probably a couple months since I had gotten it. So I just thought it'd be a really great one to use, and because there is such a variety of colors, I thought it'd be a really fun one to do a palette bingo with. So for those who don't know, palette bingo is where you kind of randomly choose 5 colors to use and then put them on your eyes, and it's just kind of fun and exciting because you don't know what you're doing, and it's all exciting and random. So I do have pulled up on my phone the random number generator from 1 to 21 because there are 21 shadows, and so I'm going to start just generating the numbers. I'm going to pick 5 of them for bingo, and I'm going to kind of do that pretty quickly and kind of speed through that so that doesn't take up too much of this video. Still shot is the first one. Alright, so here is my color palette, and I do feel like it's again another very safe color combo. I was really hoping I'd get something a little bit more adventurous, but that's fine. We'll see how this goes. I have such a hard time, even though I'm trying to get more creative, thinking about a creative way to use this color combo, and I can only think of like 2 different ways. The idea I have, I don't think it'll be super creative, but anyways, I'm going to go in with, first with the shade Still Shot, which is that matte kind of corally shade. I'm going to take that on a very fluffy brush and just put that in my crease, which is the very safe thing to do, but that's what I'm going to do. Now, I don't have any primer or anything on, and I don't even really have too much foundation or concealer up here because I actually just filmed this face look because I was trying out a brand new foundation for the first time today. I'm so excited about. I'm not sure if this video will go up before that one, so I don't know if I should say what it is. I'll link it if the video is up, but if not, stay tuned. I'm just going to tell you, I got the Pure Cosmetics foundation, and I'm so excited about it because I was talking about how much I really wanted it, and I ended up being reached out to from Pure Cosmetics, and they sent me the PR package for it, and I was so excited. But anyways, if you want to hear my thoughts about it, you'll have to stay tuned for that video or watch it if it's already live. I'm not quite sure which video I'll put up first. But anyways, that gives you kind of like a, at least a heads up, like what do you think my skin looks like? I'm not going to tell you my thoughts on it. You guys will have to watch the video to know that, what I think, but I'd love to know, like, what do you think? How do you think my face looks? How do you think my skin looks? This is going on very lightly. I'm kind of just packing it on. I feel like I remember this being a little bit more pigmented, but maybe not. That's fine though. Next up, I think I'm going to take the shade Wild Heart, which is kind of like this pinky, not quite burgundy shade. I don't know, fuchsia maybe? No, it's not quite fuchsia either. Anyways, it's not matte. It's like a satiny kind of color, and I'm going to put that in the outer corner of my eye and run it a little bit into my crease as well. I tapped quite a bit of it off because I didn't want it to go in too pigmented right away just yet. When I'm not sure what I'm doing, I don't want to go in like full blast because you just never know how it's going to turn out. It's actually looking really nice. It's blending well into the crease. I feel like we are losing a little bit of that Still Shot shade, but that's totally fine. Sometimes it's just nice to lay down a color, even if it doesn't show up too much, but just to help with blending. And it makes it a little less scary because that when you do go in with, like, more pigmented color, especially a bright, vibrant color, which most people aren't used to putting into their crease, and especially a non-matte color, which people are usually not used to putting in their crease. I'm actually not opposed to using shimmers or, non-matte shades in my crease. It's just that it's just more comfortable, I think, for a lot of people to use a matte, and more normal to use a matte in the crease. You know what I mean? So, and also it's just that sometimes shimmers don't always work that well blending into the crease. Sometimes they do, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes they have to really be built up. Sometimes they make a mess. Sometimes people just don't feel like they look that good. You know, shimmers may not look that good on them in the crease. I just think it depends. I can kind of go either way. I've done looks where I put shimmers into the crease and it's totally fine. But I feel like for the most part, I am one of those safe people who definitely like to start out with a matte in the crease. This is really pretty though. All right, I'm just gonna go back with a little bit of that Still Shot shade that I first used in that first blending brush, just to kind of run over it just a little bit. I like to have a little bit of that showing, you know, just so there's a little bit of a soft gradient happening. And then I don't have my brows done, but when I do them afterward, I always do a little bit of concealer, and that helps kind of clean up anything that I maybe brought too high. So it might look a little bit different. So I really don't mind smoking my shadows up pretty high, because I could always clean it up and bring it down just a little bit when I'm, you know, doing my brows later. I've shown that on camera a couple times before, but I don't always show it on camera because it's like, you know, you guys have seen it. And I don't know if anybody cares or not, but I figured I'd mention it for anybody who's new here. All right, so now I'm going to go in with the kind of gold shade. It's really pretty, actually. It's like duochrome-y almost looking, because it's kind of gold looking in the pan, but if at a certain angle, it kind of looks pinky. So I think it'll actually look really nice with these colors. But that's the shade here, Stranded. I'm going to take that on this Shadow Fluff brush from Stilazzi, which is just like a typical, you know, shadow packing brush. I'm not sure how well this will apply on its own. It looks like it'll apply. It looks really smooth. It looks like it'll apply really well on its own, but we'll see. I might need to spray it or put down some more, or put down some, not some more, but some eyeshadow primer. I can't think right now. And I'm just going to apply that all over the majority of my lid, I'd say. Okay, so it's very, very sheer looking. So that's kind of not what I want. I like a little bit more pigmentation. So I think I'm gonna have to get up, and I don't want to, but I do have some eyeshadow primer right here, which I could use that. Something that I used to do quite often, I haven't really done much recently, is use eyeshadow primer over top of shadows, and that helps them stick down. So I'm just going to take another brush, because I don't really want to put this straight onto my lid. And I'm just going to grab some of that eyeshadow primer, because I'm too lazy to get up and get a setting spray right now. And what I'm going to do is just pat that over top, just so it allows this to have a little bit of a sticky base to stick to, essentially. And hopefully show up a little bit more pigmented and not so sheer. There we go. That's the pigmentation I was looking for. Definitely feel like I'm going to need to do a little bit of cleanup, because this is looking a little bit sloppy. Sloppier than I would prefer, at least. I know everybody's style is different, so some people might not mind it looking like this, but I'd prefer it looking a little bit cleaner. I feel like I brought it up too high, but that's okay. So now I'm just going to do the same thing to the other eye before I put down any shadows, because now I know. Just going to grab some of that on this packing brush. So just a little tip for you guys, if you ever feel like a shadow's not performing well. I mean, I bet if I use my finger, it would probably perform a little bit better too, but I do not like using my finger. I say this, I think, quite often, so if you're not new here, you're probably sick of hearing me always say this, but if you're new here, I am someone who hates using my fingers for products. I don't feel like you should have to use your fingers to get them to work, and I always try to find a way to get shadows and products to work with brushes. Because my fingers, I feel like I have relatively small hands and small fingers. Ew, they're all so swatchy. But I don't want to have to get my fingers up into my eye to get a product to work. And also for the people who have like super long nails, I do not. I see people with super long nails and they use their fingers to apply shadows, and I'm like, how are you not gouging your stinking eye out? I don't understand. Clearly they have to be very careful, but then how are you even precise? Like, I just don't get it. I just don't want to have to do that. Anyways, I'm rambling. All right, now I'm just going to take a small brush. You guys know I love this tiny little guy. This is the Stilazzi Mini Crease Fluff. It's the L217. And I'm just going to go back into that shade Wild Heart, this one right here, and put a little bit more into my outer corner and just kind of blend my crease, you know, do a little bit of a tidying up here so it looks a little bit more seamless. Hopefully. It's my attempt. Sometimes I feel like when I do these palette bingos, which this is just my second one, so act like I do them all the time. Anyways, I feel like I'm just rambling. And I hope they're not too long or boring for you guys. I feel like when I'm actually doing a makeup tutorial where I know what I'm doing and I'm trying to kind of essentially quote unquote teach you guys, these are like my quotes, and I kind of do it almost more like a voiceover style, even though I'm actually doing everything. I'm not doing a second voiceover, but it turns out voiceover style, if you guys have noticed. And it's a lot more short and to the point. And I try to work, believe it or not, I do try to keep my videos short, especially my tutorials, because who wants to watch a long, rambly tutorial? His point being is I feel like I'm more rambly when I do these palette bingos. So tell me if you just want me to shut up or if I should just keep rambling and talking to you guys, because I actually enjoy chatting with you guys, even though I'm kind of technically chatting by myself at the moment, but I feel like I can sense the future of us chatting, you know what I mean? So now I think what I'm going to do is go into this brown shade here, which happens to be Good As Gone. And I think I'm just going to continue it with this tiny little brush. I'm going to put a little bit, or actually, you know what? No, I'm going to take it on a pencil brush so I can get a little bit more precise of a blend, and then also bring it to my lower lash line, so you guys can kind of see where I'm going with this. It's going to be kind of a boring look. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. Maybe I just need to pick more exciting palettes. I almost was going to do the September Rose Slush palette, because that one's just literally all colors. It's like almost like a neon rainbow, not really neon, but kind of neon-y, like rainbow palette. But I just was worried I wouldn't have enough time, because my kids are going to be home soon. So anyways, let me just do this. And I'm going to try to do it gently, since I do already have the rest of my face on, and I don't want anything interfering with my makeup for me to have to brush it away or apply more powders. That way it doesn't mess up my thoughts on this foundation, because I'm hoping to do a wear test. I'm not sure if I'll have time to do a wear test, but I'm hoping I'll be able to do a wear test. Anyways, I kind of want to put this on the outer corner, as you can see, but then also kind of sweep it to my around, like my lash line, my upper lash line too, just to give a little bit of some kind of dimension to my look. Is that making sense? This is almost looking like a little bit of a cat eye, but not quite. Very soft blended cat eye, I guess. I thought I might take it up a little bit and blend it more, but I'm kind of liking this. I'm not sure. Okay, so before I go any further here, I am kind of liking the way that's looking. I still feel like this look looks very, very basic, but I like the way that's looking right now. I'm going to kind of run some on my lower lash line and then bring it up and try to get it to meet up here. No, I'm getting fallout. I don't want that. So I need to try to do this very carefully. Is that looking good or bad? I don't know. Oh god. I feel like it looks a little bit weird because this end's so rounded and this is kind of being blown out, so maybe I might need to take a little bit of that pinky shade and kind of smoke it out there with it. I'm not quite sure, but I'm going to go ahead and do the other side real quick and just kind of see how that goes. All right, as I was working on this, I kind of started bringing it in a little bit more, and I just took this smudger brush from Stilazzi, it's their L208, and just started kind of smudging it a little bit more closer to my lash line, and then kind of bringing it a little bit further into my inner tear duct, because I was just liking the way this line was looking very, very feline-esque, coming from the underside as well. And I just felt like bringing this like a little bit of, you know, it's subtle, but I feel like it gives this very like feline kind of a look, and I'm kind of digging that. So yeah, I keep trying to adjust it because I feel like this side looks better, but then when I do, it's, I don't know, I'm putting too much, I think. But anyways, I still feel like I kind of want to soften this up a little bit. It's pretty soft, but I think I might go over it still, maybe with that first blending brush I used. But I do, like I said, want to go back with this small blending brush and a little bit of that pink shade Wild Heart, and just kind of see about winging this shadow out a little bit, just so it doesn't look so yeah, like that, so it doesn't look so like it just kind of comes out of nowhere. Just let that kind of play with it a little bit. I don't want to do it too much because I don't want too much pigmentation, but I'm trying to shed a little bit of that color here, but then just gently sweep it out. I think that looks better. Looks like it's not so sudden, but I do want to go back into this and just a little bit more of Still Shot. Again, that first matte shade I used. And I think I just want to just do this. I really put like, I just barely touched. So there might not even be any that shows up much, since it is such a light shade, but I'm just going to do this. I don't know if that's really doing much, but I'm really just tickling the edges. That's something, if you guys watched my recommendation in my last multi-palette bingo, or my last palette bingo, which was the multi-palette bingo, I'd recommend a channel, Bubbly Bex Beauty. She says that a lot. She's just tickling the edges when she's blending a little bit. So that has stuck with me, because I thought, how cute and how perfect is that saying? Because you literally, like, just like this, just tickling the edge. So true. Alright, so I think that's going to be it. I'm going to stop tickling the edges of this look. I just need to kind of wrap it up because I don't really have anything too exciting left to do. The last shade I have is this one, which you may not have even noticed or seen because it's so close to my skin tone. But that is actually the shade Breakaway right here. And basically what I'm going to do with that is just put it in my inner corner. So nothing exciting. So I'm just going to take that on a pencil brush. This is from Beauty Junkies, and if anybody was curious, it's my favorite pencil brush. I have a bunch of them, because I was also using this from Beauty Junkies for the brown also, but I have a couple of them in here because I love this pencil brush. It is the best. It's just so soft. There's just something about it. That's actually a really bright white shade. And then I'm gonna put it on my brow bone, but I'm gonna be cleaning up my brows anyway, so it'll be taken away when I do the concealer, so I'll just put that on after I'm done with my brows. I think, you know what I want to do? I've been using this eyeliner pencil a lot. I might have even used it in my last palette bingo video. I'm not quite sure, but anyways, it is the shade Overdrive from Urban Decay. In one of my videos, probably the palette bingo video, I call it Overline, but it's Overdrive actually. I just really been liking it a lot. I'm going to stick that in my waterline. And then after this, I will go ahead and do my brows, do my lashes, and we'll be back to show you the completed look. Alright, I am back, and here is what my eyes are looking like. I did go ahead and put on that last shadow to my brow bone, and of course put on mascara and my brows. So this is what everything is looking like. I think it pulled together really well. Again, nothing too creative or out there, but a pretty look, I think. And then for lips, should we expect anything different? But I put on a gloss. This one is a new gloss from NBA Cosmetics. It's one of their glitzy glosses in the shade Bellatrix, which is one of their like sparkly glitter glosses. What's really nice about these glosses is that they are sparkly, but they don't feel gritty on the lips. They're nice and smooth. But anyways, they're fairly new to me, and I just wanted to put one into use. So I figured it would go okay with this look. But yeah, that is it for this palette bingo. I really hope you guys enjoyed seeing what I created. I'd love to hear from you and know what you guys would have done with these colors. How would you have placed them? Would you have done something different than me? Would you have probably done something the same as me? Everybody is so creative and so different, so I would really love to know what you guys would have done with these colors. And then if you guys do like these palette bingo videos, I would love to know which palette you'd like to see me use in my next palette bingo. But anyways, with all that being said, I just want to thank you so much for watching, and until next time, much love and hugs to you. Bye, beauty babes. Mwah!